Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. Previously, we discovered that there were actually two separate fires that were started in the Babalese embassy. One affected the topmost floors, and the second, the one we knew about, affected the third floor here. At least I think it's the third floor, maybe it was the second. One of those. It was lower. And Ambassador Polano had some quite interesting things to say. The morning of this event, he and Manny Cochin, the deceased, were burning documents in the fireplace. And what's more, at a later point when Polano tried to check on him, he noticed that the fires were green and he was stopped from entering the room. But that's separate from the document burning in the fireplace. What I'm trying to say is, some really shady shit went down. And now we have Little Thief active, thanks to Kay, and we can examine what's different in the past and the present. So let's go right to left here. I'm curious about this grandfather clock. Well, actually, the fire is probably more worthy to look at. These must have been the large green flames Ambassador Polano saw. With flames like these, it's no wonder he couldn't get in. Kay, by the time you came into this room, had the fire already been put out? Yeah, the fire had died out or something by that time. Then this fire in here only burned from the time the fire started on the third floor, until the Yatagarasu appeared and caused a stir in Babal, I suppose. I guess Mr. Polano was just lucky enough to run into this fire as it was burning, huh? Yes, you could put it that way. And since you were the first to discover the body, we can assume that no one else entered the room until that time. No one other than the person you were chasing, of course. I knew it! That person I saw was definitely up to no good. I mean, that person could even be Mr. Cochin's killer. That is very likely to be the case. After all, that person came into this room before you, and must have chosen this room precisely because they knew no one would be in here. Okay, then maybe the green fire was where it was to prevent anyone from coming in. But then, what did the person set on fire to make the green flames? Well, whatever it is that person burned, it made a rather sizable fire. And since the fire's green, well, we've seen something that burns green, right? It's a bit tinier than these flames, but you get what I mean. Yes, and I do believe that what you are thinking is exactly why these flames are green. Which fire-related piece of evidence burns the same color as these green flames? The lantern.
Take that!
This silhouette lantern. Its green flame comes from the wit crystal oil it's burning. Yeah, that's the fire I was thinking of too. I love the green it gives off. I think we've now established that the green flames were caused by wit crystal oil. Furthermore, we know that there is only one other thing made from wit crystal oil. Oh, you mean that thing Mr. Polano was mistaken about, right? Yes, precisely, as we found out earlier in our investigation. What? I don't get it. Can you fill me in, sir? Fine, I suppose. I'll explain it in a way that even you can understand. This is the thing made from wit crystal oil that Ambassador Polano was mistaken about. The Babalese ink.
Take that!
Babalese ink is made from wit crystal oil. Oh, so it should burn the same color as the flames in the lantern, right? Yes, precisely. However, the green flames in this room were not from a bottle of Babalese ink. Because we found the ink Mr. Cochin used on his desk, right? Yes. However, we know that Mr. Cochin was smuggling the ink in massive quantities. Now, what do you suppose he made using all that ink? I believe what he made with that ink is the answer to what gave birth to the green flames. My thought exactly. Oh yeah, I'm beginning to really feel the energy coming from you, Mr. Edgeworth. It would appear that I finally found it, the smuggling ring's real goal. Made of Babalese ink, this is the source of the green flames. The Counterfeit bills.
Take that!
What would consume that great of a volume of ink to make? That would be the counterfeit bills that the smuggling ring made and are circulating in Geneva. You're kidding! You're saying that it was Mr. Cochin who made the counterfeit bills? I am. I believe you could even go so far as to say that he stole Babal's printing press. Ambassador, Mr. Cochin had permission to freely use the printing press, correct? Why, yes, and I do remember seeing him use it in the middle of the night. But never did I think he was using it for such a foul deed. Lie through your teeth, why don't you? Ambassador, because of your secretary's crimes, you will need to be investigated as well. Oh, yes, I suppose so. We've caused a bit of trouble for a few countries, haven't we? It's my duty to search out all who shielded Mr. Cochin and concealed his crime. For they are the ones who started the fire in order to destroy the evidence. Well, that was a lot. Okay, about that clock. This grandfather clock, it was apparently in a different position before the fire. According to staff members, the clock was flush against the wall before the fire, sir. Which means that, most likely, it was moved by someone during the fire. Speaking of which, it's totally 11 o'clock now, but I don't hear any chiming. Huh? That's odd. It was still chiming right on the dot at every hour this morning. Maybe the fire damages internal mechanisms or something. Ambassador Poleno, maybe take a look inside that clock. Sure, go right on ahead. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please inspect the insides of this clock. Yes, sir, I'm on it. Mr. Edgeworth, I found this inside, sir. It looks like a length of wire. So this is what caused the clock to stop chiming. But what was a long length of wire doing inside this clock in the first place? That is very curious. Wait a second. Okay, this would not make for the first time that something has flown through the sky with the aid of wires in this series. No, sir, it would not. Why would someone do this to such a valuable clock? It sounds like it wasn't Mr. Poleno that put the wire in there. Then perhaps it was Mr. Cochin's killer who did. You've examined everything in this office, but there is one thing that bothers me. Perhaps I should ask Ambassador Poleno about it. Wait, really? What? We looked at 2 things! There's way more to look at. Hey! No, go back! Ambassador Poleno, there is something I'd like to ask you about. Yes? About this office, it appears to me to be very similar to Ambassador Alba's office. For example, the location of the fireplace and the position of the grandfather clock. Oh, that's right. I've also paid a visit to the Alabastan side of the embassy. Okay, actually, I was gonna find a better place to say this, but I noticed the way the clock was moved tells me that it was moved from inside the office, not from the doorway. Whoever moved the clock was standing in the office. I just want to say that. Anyway. Our 2 embassies actually used to be one. Yes, I know. Even the pamphlet mentioned that. Which is why the building is bilaterally symmetrical. Hey! Hey! So no matter which room, the location of the fireplace and the like are exactly the same. Even where the art is located is the same. As my room is currently under a renovation, we worked hard to make Manny's room look like the ambassador's office. You mean for your handshake photo op with the Jammin' Ninja? Yes, that's right. I mean, what's a photo like that worth if it's not taken in the ambassador's office, right? Yet another odd expression of Babal's obsessively competitive spirit with Alabast, I take it. Thank you, Ambassador. That piece of information is all I needed to connect the dots. Connect what dots? Well, anyway, I'm glad I was able to be of some help. Okay, good. We can still look around. It looks like one of the Bobbly's knives were already missing before the fire began. So it would seem, especially since the other 2 knives' handles were burned away. The remaining handle was swapped out with the handle from the real murder weapon. And Babal's national treasure was stolen. Poor Babal, don't you think? I'm not sure I would lump the replica statue in with the rest of Babal's woes. That makes sense. It's the charred remains of a fallen ceiling fan. Oh, I've seen a few of these before. They spin around and around and play music. What? I believe you're thinking of a musical mobile for babies. Yeah, that's it. But they're nothing alike. They're totally alike. They spin those babies right around like a record. I see. I guess I can see how you might think that. So Babal is really into pushing their tourism industry, huh? Yes, it would appear that way. You know, I'd really love to take a trip. Hey, why don't we take one after this case? Do you already have a destination in mind? Well, ideally I'd like to go someplace where I can continue my thief training. Well, if you want to learn the fine art of stealth, perhaps you should visit the studio where they make the Jammin' Ninja TV show. Hey, that actually is a really good idea, Mr. Edgeworth. I can't believe she took me seriously. A fireplace, huh? So Babal's offices have them too. 2? There's a fireplace in relatively the same location in the Alabastian office. However, we found something there that I'd rather not recall ever again. I still can't believe that we found that undershirt in the fireplace. If it was that traumatizing, why don't you try creating new memories with this fireplace? Yeah, we saw this. I was more interested in the thing above the fireplace, though. That looks like a very comfortable chair. Well, it doesn't look all that broken, so why don't you... Oh, we saw this too. Okay, maybe there's just nothing of note. Okay, I'm starting to doubt that the curtain would be interesting too, so... Yeah, I guess Edgeworth had it right. We have looked at everything of worth in this office, so time for some logic. Alright. So, Ambassador Alba's office fireplace was double-sided and could have a fake wall. And the embassy is symmetrical, so maybe this fireplace in this room can rotate as well. The Alabastian and Bobbly sides of the building are symmetrical to each other. As we know that to be a fact, then this room's fireplace may also hide a secret passageway. A secret passageway? In Alabast, the fireplace turned out to have a revolving back wall. A revolving wall! It sounds like something out of a ninja house. Wow, there was a trick like that built into the fireplace, sir? What? This embassy holds that kind of secret? There seems to be a lot about this room that you don't know about, Ambassador. I guess it's time to pay the bill for letting Manny do so much work for me. Please, I really want to know about the real Manny and what you know about this room. What are you waiting for, Mr. Edgeworth? Let's get to the bottom of this. Agreed. And my first thought is that it's likely the killer used the revolving fireplace. Okay, the text on that logic said we need to examine it more, so let's do that. It looks like just another fireplace, though, doesn't it? So, how do you turn it again? In Alabast, I had to push where the X was on the far wall of the fireplace. Oh, I see an X back there, sir. Let's see what happens when I push it.
Hold it!
Oh, you scared me, sir. There is something about this fireplace that lies in contradiction to the facts. Huh? But we found an X where you thought there'd be one, right? We did, but that's not what I was referring to. Something is missing from this scene. What does this contradiction mean for us? Oh. Well, it looks like the fireplace is unburnt. Those look like fully intact logs. All I see inside this fireplace is starter wood. Huh? That's odd. Doesn't match up with what Mr. Polano said earlier. What is the meaning of this contradiction? Alright, well, a contradiction's a contradiction. Let's deduce. So they burned documents. Yeah, Polano's testimony. While burning files in fireplace, left ashes there. Ambassador Polano, you said that you burned some old files in this fireplace today, correct? Yes, I burned quite a few files this morning, actually. And after you did, you forgot to clean out the ashes from the fireplace, correct? That's right, but why are you asking? And why are you making such a scary face? I'm sorry, I admit I am a bit intimidating when I'm serious. In any case, take a good look at this fireplace and tell me what you find odd about it. Let's see. Huh? Where did all the ashes go? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't really think that Ambassador Polano was lying, do you? No, there is no reason for him to lie. And I don't believe his testimony is wrong, either. It is the fireplace that is causing the contradiction. Kay, I wonder if you might update the fireplace data for me. You got it. I'll add in the ashes from the burnt files and... Sounds like we've pretty much figured everything out now, huh? Well, it was nothing. All I did was follow where our leads led us. Oh, I sense it coming on. You're about to dazzle us again, right? Oh, you mean that? Well, it's what Mr. Edgeworth is known for, you know. There is really no need for you two to dance around the name of what I'm about to do. Let's take a closer look at the updated fireplace. The ashes Ambassador Polano left here have disappeared. If we follow where this piece of information leads, we should begin to see the truth. It's time to use your secret weapon, right? Yeah, go on, sir. Use your special skill. I'll ignore your strange phrasing for now and focus on the information we have instead. Just a little further, I can sense the truth lying on just the other side of this. If we push this X mark, the fireplace wall should turn. A revolving fireplace wall? That's neat, sir. We should hurry up and... Wait, Detective. There's something we need to examine about this first. Besides which, there's also something I'd like to test. Like what, sir? I'll tell you later, Detective. For now, let's continue with the investigation. Okay. Not quite sure where this is going, but let's logic it out then. Right, so... Sheena was next door. It is therefore possible that she used the revolving fireplace. Likely? That remains to be seen, but plausible, yes. Oh, geez, okay. Not exactly a shining example of the perfect line of logic. Well, shit. Okay. Renovations top to bottom. Let's see. Well, if there are renovations, maybe someone came by and just cleaned up the ashes. No? Oh! Okay, I think this is the first time I've failed so hard on connecting logic. Usually this is easy. Am I missing something? Those were like the two most likely things. I never did look at the thing here. You can see the Alabastrian Embassy through this window. So where were you when you were investigating over there, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, we saw this. We saw this line. Okay, so there's nothing here. Okay, maybe we actually just go up and speak to Polano. There's something new? Maybe I can present something and get a bit of information. Maybe not. Okay, Gumshoe? No. Okay, well, looking at the combinations again, we combined Sheena's location and revolving fireplace. We also tried renovations and missing ashes. Maybe the missing ashes are a sign that someone used the door? Like, okay, if the revolving door is flush with the ground, maybe in the act of rotating it swept the ashes away to the other side. The reason as to why the ashes are missing is simple. It's not because someone cleaned them up, right? No, because even if someone did sweep them up, the fireplace is too clean for that. Ambassador Polano said that he spilled Zimbabwe's ink while he was burning the files. And yet there is not a trace of the spilled ink on the back wall anywhere. Oh, that back wall! Oh, damn it. Okay. Well then, I don't know what happened. Well, I'll tell you what happened. The two sides were switched. By using the revolving fireplace wall, the ashes were moved into the neighboring room. Which means that this is a clear indication that the fireplace was used. Okay. Then, you mean the person I was chasing disappeared from this room through there? Yes, I believe the person you were in pursuit of is Mr. Cochin's killer, and after committing the murder, escaped through the fireplace. So, wouldn't they run right into Sheena? But then, okay, Sheena apparently head out the door to go apprehend Kay. Wow, Mr. Edgeworth, you figured out the killer's escape route. I have, but this is only the beginning. Now we have to chase the killer down. Okay, so there's a connection here. The killer and Sheena were in the same room at the same time. What's the deal there, huh? If the killer used the fireplace in this room to escape into the next, then it's only logical for us to talk with the person who was in the neighboring room. Well, the person that was in the next room was... Oh, it was that person, sir. Yes, Detective. Agent Sheena. Investigation complete. Oh good, my shameful wounds were healed. Okay. It's looking more and more like Miss Sheena's the killer, isn't it? Let's not jump to conclusions yet. We need to go through what we know so far. She came running straight into this room from the next one and instantly accused you. Furthermore, she claimed that it could only have been you that killed Mr. Cochin. I don't have any proof yet, however, I know she is hiding something from us. Okay then, why don't we go ask Miss Sheena herself? No, not yet. There's something that needs to be done first. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, is it my turn to do something, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I have a two-part special assignment for you. First, I need you to run a handwriting analysis on Damask II's note. Okay, I'll get the lab boys on that right away. Second, I want you to see if you can fit through the revolving fireplace wall. Right now, sir? No, next decade. Of course now. We need to test our hypothesis first, don't we? Go on, Gummy. You can do it. All right. I'm gonna do this like a real man. Here I go, through the fireplace and back. You shouldn't need to psych yourself up that much for such a simple task, Detective. Wow, the wall inside the fireplace really did turn. That's so neat. Now I want to try going through there too. There really is a secret passageway through there. I had no idea. It would appear that the ash really was pushed into the other room. Furthermore, the Bobbly's ink you spilled. Ambassador is there on the back wall. Okay, here I go, sir. Detective, I'd like you to go through there under the same conditions as the killer. Huh? But there's all that ash and stuff. And your point is? Now, we're short on time, so if you could please hurry on through. Yes, sir. Okay, so now we pretty much have the whole picture, right? No, not yet. There remains a few more mysteries to solve. Such as the Yatagarasu's whereabouts, the other smuggling ring members, the two weapons that made it across the border, the key Miss Yu stole 7 years ago. In fact, we haven't figured out a thing regarding how Miss Yu is related to these embassies. Mr. Edgeworth? A number of pieces connect in a very complicated way in this case. It's almost enough to make one completely mentally exhausted. What are you saying, Mr. Edgeworth? I thought you were the one who said that it's easy if you follow the leads. Was that supposed to be an impression of me, Kay? If it's info gathering you need, Gummy and I can help with that. Then, all you'd have to do is show off your fancy schmancy logical deductions. Show off? Does it seem like I'm being boastful when I do that? Let's not overcomplicate matters, okay, Mr. Edgeworth? We've been so focused, like a laser, on only what seems strange and out of place. It's no wonder nothing's clicked and we haven't unlocked anything yet. But if we think things through calmly, the answer should come to us. Okay. That's the sort of thing I say to myself when I'm practicing how to unlock padlocks, you know? That is something that I hope practice doesn't make perfect for your sake. Yay, looks like you're back to your straight-laced self again. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm back, sir. Yes, I can see that. Good work, Detective. Cough, cough, cough. Looks like you can use that fireplace like a door, sir. Are you alright, Gummy? I'm okay. I'm just a bit of ashen. It's just a bit of ashen dust, that's all. Your jacket has gotten quite filthy. I see the hem has practically turned black. Yeah, well, quite a bit of the unburned ink got on it, sir. I see. Thank you, Detective. You did a fine job. Oh. So whoever went through the revolving fireplace, they got ink? on their clothes. And you know, black ink would really blend into Sheena's clothes. She wears black. What? How are we going to prove that, though? Are we going to ask her to strip so we can burn her clothes and see if it's green? I'll even pay the cleaning bill for the trench coat. What? Oh, no, sir, I could never. This is just my old coat, sir. If it was a coat I actually cared about, then I'd get it clean, but, you know. I see. Very well, then, as you wish. So because Gummy was able to climb through the fireplace, we know it can be used, right? Yes, but that's not all we learned. We actually learned one other important fact. And that is? I will have to explain it to you later. Right now, we need to deal with the handwriting analysis. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. I'll be back before you know it. The handwriting analysis on Mr. Cochin's handwriting will take a bit of time. Let us go and wait in the Theatrum Neutralis, along with Agent Lane and Agent Sheena. Yeah, alright. Sheena has become the most suspicious person here. That is an interesting development, I should say. Agent Lane. Lane G says, "Little cubs never do they know the real fury of the elder wolves." These quotes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. Ooh, excuse me. And what does that... Ow, my lungs. Ow, it hurts. Why do my lungs hurt all of a sudden? Oh, God. Please, God. It's been nearly 3 months since I got COVID-19. Please, lungs, get better. Ow. Anyway, and what does that mean? It means that you'll never really know how angry I can get. Mr. Prosecutor, the counterfeit bills made with Bobbly's ink. They were all of Genfa denominations. Yes, so I heard from Miss Von Karma. But we don't know where the play money has gone. They must not have figured out that it was all burned yet. Ever since those things showed up in circulation, my country's economy has taken a big hit. Genfa is in financial chaos as we speak. Because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. But it's not just the money. The citizens are also worried. I've staked the honor of the House of Lane on this. And I've come to this land to capture the mastermind behind this whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made and how the ink was smuggled into Genfa. I pursued the smuggling ring all the way here. But tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, someone got to him first. Now I'm called to return home without a single answer. Agent Lane, Don't start. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. Ambassador Alba, I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight. Oh, no. It is I who should apologize. It was all because I was not strong enough. If only I was able to think of a better solution. Carcass, you fool! Curse your empty brain! You're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. Sheena, let's go. Time to return to our den. Yes. I don't like to admit it, but there's not much else for us to do but go home as well. Uh-oh. If I were Edgeworth, I would do something risky. I would accuse Sheena right here. That would get her to stay, for sure. Agent Lane. You, Wolfman and the secretary lady, hold it. Objection. Pow. Detective Gumshoe. Have you got the results of the handwriting analysis already? Can we take this moment to appreciate that Gumshoe is doing the point? His pointed fingers. Just like his idol. Yup, and that note was definitely written by Mr. Cochin, sir. Just as I thought. Good work, Detective. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. How long do you intend to hold us up for? Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. Agent Sheena, I'd like to ask you something, if you don't mind. Yes? How exactly did you fail to see the Yatagarasu when you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Cochin was killed? I'd like you to explain that to us. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, what are you doing asking her about something she didn't see? Said the blind man. I know they're just sunglasses, but they're supposed to be eye patches. Agent Lane hasn't touched the Babala investigation at all, so I suppose I will need to explain a few things to him first. Miles Edgeworth, I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours. The only thing going on in my head is the pursuit of the truth. Oh, it sounds like you have some sort of plan. Very well, I'll supervise you until the end. Is she seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day? You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinate on some flimsy guess, are you? I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see. Synchronized. I should have known that you and I are destined to fight it out to the very end. It would appear that way. Well, I'll prove her innocence, so let's see what you've got, Prosecutor Edgeworth. With pleasure. For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babal, and establish exactly who it was that Kay saw. Agent Lane, I assume you've been briefed on Kay's testimony. You mean the suspicious person in a coat that she saw? That's right. That person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Yatagarasu. Pretended? What do you mean by that? I'll get to that in a second, but first I want to review what that person Kay saw did. Kay, if you could please explain what the person you were chasing did for us. Okay, you got it. I first spotted the suspicious person near the open-air stage on the Babalese side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase. For the sake of argument, let's call this suspicious person the Yatagarasu. Now, please tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor. Can do. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Babalese embassy. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Cochin's office. I gave chase and ran into the room. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned up the light. But then... Who's there? By the time I had turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared. When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lane? What do you mean, why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the doorway behind the girl under the cover of darkness. Sorry, but I know for a fact that that person didn't escape through that door. Oh, and how do you know that with such certainty? That's easy. If the Yatagarasu had left through that door, they would have run right into this person. Sheena.
Take that!
Your answer is Sheena. Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Yatagarasu had used the door. When Kay screamed upon discovering Mr. Kochin's body, the Yatagarasu would have run right into Agent Sheena, who was in the next room over. Ugh. Agent Sheena, would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question? No, I didn't see anyone. You see, therefore the Yatagarasu could not... It just means that the creep slipped out before Sheena made it into the hallway. I doubt that, as there was another person in that hallway. A certain detective. Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at that time? Me, sir? Well, when I heard Kay scream. I ran towards Mr. Kochin's office, from the opposite direction of Agent Sheena, sir. So, Agent Lane, can you explain how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth! You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened. Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. But this is far from over. I need to make Agent Lane aware as well of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken. I get it. It's what you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out. Precisely. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to bust out with our revolving fireplace wall explanation, right? No, not quite yet. Rule out the window first? Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time. The revolving wall on the Bobbly side is known only to 4 people. And if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end. What's with all whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics? Nothing of the sort, Agent Lane. Come, let's continue where we left off. That smug, haughty attitude of yours really rubbed me the wrong way, you know that? Well, no matter. Figured you out already anyway. The only possible escape route besides the door is the room's lone window. And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists, you're saying that this photo captures a moment of the Yatagarasu's escape? I guess Detective Bad must have filled him in on this photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that to be impossible. Now, I realize you may not know this, but humans can't fly. Of course I know that. That's bloody common sense. Besides, I never said I thought that photo to be of the Yatagarasu's escape route. See, I think the English translation team knows Miles is supposed to be British. He just radiates the energy, man. Like, I have no problem with the original intention of him just being, Japanese, but yeah, no, the character's better when he's British. I suppose not. Alright then, explain yourself. The shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu that Kay was chasing after. You can say whatever you like in whatever language you want. There's only one language I really understand. Language of evidence. Very well, then. I present to you proof that the person K saw is not the same as the one in this photo. Do we bust out the wire right now? Or is this the part where we spring out the fireplace wall? Well, no, maybe not. We can't bring up the fireplace yet. We need to rule out the window flatly. Okay, so photo of Yatagarasu. Like, I know that it was probably some sort of trick with a wire, but what is the actual object that is flying through the air? Could it be something actually falling from the roof? Man, what is this pick? Clearly I have the answer on hand, but the person Kay saw is not the same as in this photo. Maybe it really is as simple as saying, yeah, no, the person instead went through the fireplace. And we can back that up because we know about the ashes. Do we go with the fireplace right now? I think we do.
Take that!
Ah, no. I can already tell. So what do I... I'm trying to think. Yeah. Let me get back to the evidence. I need to see. I need to think back to what Detective Bad told me about when this photo was taken. There were 2 fires. It was... There's fire right on the window? Is it this?
Take that!
Oh! Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu Kay saw. Kay spotted the Yatagarasu heading for the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the 1st fire. Oh, yeah, doy. Yeah, way to go. That's twice you've bit him in the butt now. We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is. And how the Yatagarasu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can ya? Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet. As I thought. However, the Yatagarasu's escape route, now that I can answer. You can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on, enlighten me. Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You are busy heading up the Alabastian investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you'd have much knowledge about the Bobolese side of the case. So wouldn't it be best if the lead on that side, Agent Sheena, explained in my stead? Ooh, put her in the spot? Ugh, Sheena is my subordinate. If I don't stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss? Lane, it's alright. I can take care of him. Sheena. You've shielded me a lot as my boss. but it's time for me to prove my worth. Alright, if you're okay with it, then you have my support. Finally, it's down to just Agent Sheena and myself. This is where the battle really begins. Now then, what is it you'd like to ask? Let's see. Why don't we start with your movements inside the Bobbly's embassy? Ooh, testimony? Okay. During the first Bobbly's fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that had appeared in Babal. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. And that is all I have to say. But I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Cochin's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony. Good. Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation? No, I moved alone. In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi. Is that correct? Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic. And it wasn't Agent Sheena, and it wasn't when Agent Sheena tried to arrest Kay under the same rationale. Got him there! And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner? Ugh. Not that it's unexpected for that useless lump to get into such a situation. Although I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected. I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation. Then you should apologize right now for making Kay out to be the killer, pal. I'm sorry. Sheena, apologize. Whoa! I'm sorry. It's really okay. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, I never doubted you. Not for 1 second. When the same goes for me, I believe in Sheena. Then let's put that to the test and see if she really is worthy of your trust. This promises to be interesting. Right, well, this is definitely the best place to end things for sure. Sheena has a lot to answer for. The fact that the fake Yatagarasu used the fireplace to enter the room she was standing in, that seems like an irrefutable fact from where I'm standing. Sheena has a lot to answer for. I don't know how she can weasel her way out of this. That said, yeah, a great point was brought up earlier. We still have no idea about how the weapons were smuggled across the embassy. We don't know what the unidentified flying object is. We still don't know the full story of why Cochin tried to get Damask II to steal the statue. There is a lot left unanswered, so while it may feel kind of safe in saying that this could be it, the final stretch, we might get Sheena right here and now, if she is indeed the murderer. No, something's telling me there's a lot left to do. A lot of mysteries left to uncover. This will be an important step in setting this record straight and exposing the truth here, but afterwards, there's going to be a lot more to do. The question is, what the hell would there be more to do? What crime scene could be left to explore? I feel like we've comprehensively looked at everything that there is to see. Like, who knows? Maybe there's no more investigation phases. Maybe from here on out, it's just pure back and forth testimonies, you know? I don't know. It's really hard to say. All I know is that this is a really good mystery. I'm loving how in-depth and complicated it is. Finally, we have a case that's matching the complexity of the mainline entries in the franchise, you know? It's exciting. I like it. So, yeah. I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Ace Attorney Investigations. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.